Good morning, all of you. Okay. So we are in the new chapter now, income from house property, right? One of our first heads of income which we are covering. Okay, everybody? Yes. So income from house property, for that we have discussed. What is a house property? Any idea? What is a house property? You can quickly unmute and tell me. I don't want examples. I want meaning of house property. What does income tax law say about what is house property? How have they explained it or told you that what is house property? Yes, all of you. It was not any building or even what, bacho? Land appurtenant thereto. Appurtenant was what? Attached there to that particular building. So even if you're getting rent income from land, but the land is attached to the building, okay, so the land is getting valuation or rent because of its connection with the building, then even that rent income will go under income from house property. What do we tax during the year? We tax but to the annual value. Agreed? We tax the annual value. What is the charging section, all of you? House property. Tell me quickly. What is the charging section? 22. Yes, all of you. For house property, what do we tax? Annual value. Correct. 23. How do we arrive at annual value? So it is gross annual value GAV minus municipal taxes paid by the owner during the year. We arrive at net annual value. That is the section 23. Yes. 24 gives you deduction. 24A and 24B. Clear till here? Now pay attention, all of you. What is 24A? It is 30%. It is standard deduction of 30% of NAV. So flat, you will get it. Okay. Flat means what? You're going to get it by default. 30%. Correct? 24B is what? But interest on borrowed capital. Clear? That is basically your repaying of what? Loan. Right, all of you? But what part of the loan? Interest component you get in 24B. Clear till here? Fine. Let's go ahead for further cases. Okay. How do you arrive at GAV? There are total 3 steps. Step 1 is what, bacho? Expected rent. What is expected rent? Higher of MV or FR subject to SR. So higher of municipal valuation or fair rent, but however that value cannot exceed standard rent. That is step number 1, expected rent. Step number 2, actual rent received or receivable. So whatever rent you are going to receive for the let out period. For the what, bacho? Let out period. Yes, still here? From that, what can you reduce? Unrealized rent as per rule 4. And rule 4 should be satisfied. That you can reduce. That is step number 2, actual rent received or receivable for the let out period. And step 3 is nothing but higher of 1 or 2. That is a GAV. Clear till here? Fine. Now, we have done some questions which I think you were not confident about when do you allow reducing municipal taxes and when do you allow reducing interest on borrowed capital. But I hope you might have revised. Okay. So check. I have done a question on this. 4 questions we did on this, bacho. Correct, everybody? That when do we allow the deduction of municipal taxes and when do we allow deduction of interest? Right? Municipal taxes, bacho, it is allowed only on cash basis. That means payment basis. It is not mercantile basis. What else should I use now? Okay. So now I'll ask you again very simple question. All of you answer. If in 1 year I pay municipal taxes of 3 years, I'm repeating. If in a particular year I pay municipal taxes of total 3 years, it can be outstanding, it can be advance, whatever. I will get deduction for 1 year or 3 year. Khushbu. Okay, Mansi. Nitin answer, Indrajit answer, all of you answer quickly. If in a year I pay municipal taxes for total 3 years, either outstanding or in advance, right? I will get deduction for how many years? 1 year or 3 years? Nitin, answer, reply over where you see my video and audio is on, okay? Not on the host. Don't message on the host. Message on the other account. Tell me. I want answer 1 year or 3 year. Khushbu, you there? खुशबू हो गया नहीं तुम वहां पे होस्ट पे मैसेज मत करना दूसरे वाले अकाउंट पे मैसेज करो हाँ बोलो, आंसर बोलो, क्वेश्चन रिपीट, क्वेश्चन समझो तुमको. So 1 year or 3 year? Okay, Niraj, I got your answer. Payment basis now. Have you done 11th standard, everybody? 11th standard commerce, 12th standard commerce, first year. Have you honestly cleared foundation accounts? I have to tell you difference between what cash system and mercantile system now. You don't have the simple adjustments in accounts. Tell me. If in the financial year 21-20, this is the first batch, I think, where there is so much of confusion about payment basis and accrual basis. If in the financial year or whatever PY 21-22, you paid payment, you understand, you paid municipal taxes. Okay, for 21-22, 22-23, 23-4, 23-24. For, you understand, no? Correct? Use common sense. I'm paying in advance or I'm paying outstanding. I have to tell you so many basic things now. Answer quickly. Khushbu Nitin. I'm paying in advance or I'm paying outstanding? What do you mean I'm paying in advance? What do you mean by cash system? How much P&L debit I'll take? How much expenditure I'll book? Forget income tax. Tell me from accounting point of view. It is cash system. The proprietor is following cash system of accounting. So you will take expenditure in P&L debit for 1 year or total 3 years. Cash system of accounting. What is wrong with you guys? Do you understand cash system of accounting? That is accrual. If it relates to this year, that is accrued basis, mercantile basis. Cash system means what? Cash came, cash gone, no? Payment means what? Cash system, cash basis. You have cash system and what? Mercantile, correct? Okay, receipt and payment, correct? Fine. What other words you want now? If municipal tax is paid to the government or every year, let us say, for example, is 100 rupees. Okay. You totally paid 300 rupees. Agree till here? In P&L debit, if the proprietor is following cash system, how much will be allowed? 100 rupees or 300 rupees? That was the question. ₹300. This much you agree? Same example. For mercantile system account for accounting. It is not cash now. It is mercantile. Now mercantile you understand or no, bachcho? Correct. So I spent, when I say I spent, my P&L, my bank debit, basically my expenditure is how much? Expenditure is 300. I spent 300. That is not the question. My bank account has been reduced by 300 rupees. How much will I take in my P&L debit? Is 100 rupees. Correct? Obviously, which relates to the current year. You're doing accounting for the year, for a financial year. Correct, everybody? I'm not talking of any kind of pre-financial year or post-financial adjustment. I'm talking of a very basic, simple thing. 11th standard accounting, this is. Okay, all of you. Fine. If I spend, again I'm repeating, if I spend 300 rupees total for 3 years and it is cash system, our P&L debit will be of 300 rupees. I'm talking of P&L, not bank only. In both the cases, common, obviously I've spent 300 rupees. I'm talking of how much expenditure will be allowed. In cash system, I'll be allowed whatever I spend. In mercantile, I'll be allowed whatever is for the year. Agreed? Okay. Come back here. So municipal taxes we allow on what basis? Payment basis means cash system. Any other word you know, please let me know. I'll use that then henceforth. Okay? Payment basis or cash system. Clear till here? Okay. Pay attention. Let me change the example a little bit. In 21-22, you spent 300 rupees for 21-22, 2021, and 19-20. What case it is? It is kind of 2 years outstanding and 1 year current you have paid. How much total you have paid? 300. Municipal, let us say municipal taxes. Okay, municipal taxes. How much will be allowed? How much should we consider? 100 or 300? 300. Municipal taxes bachcho is allowed on cash basis or payment basis. We are, and keep one thing in mind, we are in Income Tax Act now. We are not in accounting standards. We are not doing books of accounts. We have a separate subject for that, accounting. So whatever law is given over here, we will follow that. Clear till here? So you will say, sir, how can an assessee have both the cases? He's having accrual also and payment also. Don't fall in that trap. He may be following whatever system of accounting. From income tax point of view, we have to check for whether has he paid municipal taxes, allow it. Understood? If he has not paid, and even if it is accrued, even if he follows accrual system of book of accounting actually, but from income tax point of view, bacho, we don't allow. Are you getting the point? Okay. So it is mixture of both. Cash also, cash system also, and mercantile also. We have to follow obviously the act which we are doing. Clear? Fine. So municipal taxes, it is first of all important, allowed on cash basis. I hope this is clear now. Second, it has to be paid by the owner. So obviously I'm using one more word, paid. So not accrued, paid. Yes, keep this in mind. And third, it has to be paid by the owner. Only then you are allowed to reduce it from the GAV. Clear till here? Okay. On the right hand most side, what do we have? Interest on borrowed capital. It is allowed on mercantile basis, accrual system, whether you pay or don't pay. Tell me. You will take it every year. You will take it every year. Clear till here? Okay. Let me use the word not paid. Let me use the word bacho, not paid. Okay. He has not paid anything in the current year. But 22 and 22 is 100. 22, 23 is 100. That is there. How much will claim? He has not paid anything. How much will claim? 100 rupees will claim because it got accrued. Simple. Obviously, only once, 1 year. 1 year at a time. That is the basic thing about mercantile system. We do accounting, financial year, everything for the year. So I will not mix more than 1 year because it is not cash system now. Okay, clear? Chalo, let's go ahead, everybody. Interest on borrowed capital can be for 5 purposes. You are borrowing capital. You are taking loan for any of those 5 purposes: purchase, construction, renewal, repairs, and reconstruction. Clear till here? Reconstruction, I hope you understand. You bring down a building or you bring down a home and then you are again starting a new construction. Fine. Now, interest payable on a fresh loan taken to repay the original loan raised earlier is also allowed as a deduction. This we have not gone into detail, but simple. At times what happens, there is, let us say, loan number 1 from one bank. Okay. And obviously you have taken the loan and you are trying to repay the principal as well as interest, but you are missing on the EMIs. You are not able to fulfill that loan. So to pay loan number 1, you have taken another loan. Okay. See, people are at times tight in the cash flow. So they're like, I'm going to get some money later on, but temporarily I want to close it down. Okay. So pay attention now. If loan number one, pay attention. What did I say? If loan number one is taken for any of these purposes, okay. And if loan number two is bacho taken to repay loan number one, then check here. Interest payable on loan number two will also be allowed as deduction under 24B. Clear till here, all of you? So whatever was the purpose of loan number one, the same purpose will use it in loan number two. Is it okay? Fine. Now, little bit different thing. Again, use common sense. Okay, now we have to be a little bit practical. Okay, please don't make any basic mistakes of cash system and Mercantile system now. Okay, I'm expecting some more broad mind from you. Real estate sector. When you buy a home, you let us say book a home, book a home, a flat, whatever, or let us say you're constructing your own bungalow. What is the time frame normally taken to build a home? Time frame. You can give me any answer. There are no correct answers, but you can give whatever knowledge you have or general knowledge or whatever you think. How much time it takes to build a home? Correct. 2 to 3 years you can take. Okay, depends. Correct. From case to case basis. Like I said, there is no perfect answer. If you're doing a very small bungalow, or what you can say, outhouse or some kind of house, it can be 1 year. If it is a building, I mean, you're buying a flat in a building, it can take 2 to 3 years. Again, I'm saying on normal basis. Okay. Let us say 2 to 3 years. Hai na? One basic common sense now understand. Very important. Very important. Very important. This head of income, bacho, income from house property, will not be starting or will not be applicable only until we have house property. What did I say? Very important what I'm telling you. Now keep your mind open. This entire chapter itself is not applicable unless or until you have a house property. Means what? Only when your house property is there, then this chapter will be applicable. Understood earlier? Can you have any income from an under construction property? No. To have an income, there has to be a proper house property, no? So when you book a flat, do you get the house property immediately? No. It will take 2 to 3 years. When you're doing construction, yes, Indraji. If the house property itself is not there, then there is no registration with the corporation or government. So obviously no property tax is applicable because the property itself is not there. There is no electricity connection, there is no water connection, nothing. On records of the government, there is no property. Okay. So only when house property will exist, only then this chapter will be applicable. This much you understood? Clear till here? All right. But now tell me, especially from 24B point of view, interest on borrowed capital. What do you think? I don't know you are aware or not. Let us say I'm buying a flat. I book a flat and the builder said after 3 years, you are getting possession. Okay. What happens during this 3 years? Is there any transaction? Whether the buyer gives anything to the seller means the builder. What do you think? You book a flat. Okay, Mansi. You book a flat. My question is what? You book a flat. Okay, and the builder said after 3 years, you are getting possession. So after booking the flat and within those 3 years, are there any transactions between the buyer and the seller? Any payments, etc.? Kushbu? Okay, now understand. Okay, keep your minds open. Let us say I'm in 2018-19. So basically you are saying there is no transaction between buyer and seller. So he doesn't pay anything to the seller during these 3 years. And in the booking amount, he pays 100%. That is one answer. Or maybe at the possession, he pays 100%. Pay attention now. Okay. Let us say we are in 1819. The flat is of rupees. I'm using the word, flat, residential flat is of rupees 1 crore. Okay, Delia? Generally, booking amount can be 10,000, 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees of the booking amount. Okay. And down payment. Let us say is usually 20%. Okay. Now that is, let us say in our example 20 lakhs. Use common sense again. Do you have 1 crore rupees in cash? Normally, average normal citizen. No. What is he going to do? Fine, yeah. So when I say 1 crore, I am saying everything inclusive. Okay? All inclusive. Loan how much? 80%. We are taking. Clear, Delia? Now there are actually 3 people involved. Buyer. Correct? Customer. Seller is your builder. I'm using the word. And bank. Obviously. Correct, Delia, all of you? Booking amount. I'm using the word booking amount is given to the builder. At that time, the bank is not involved. So now you have decided, okay, I like this flat. I have booked it. At least it will not go to anybody else. And now the builder starts creating pressure. Give us our down payment, give us our down payment. So you give the down payment. Okay. And the builder said, what? Your possession you will get after 3 years. Will you pay entire rupees 1 crore today? The answer is no. You will not pay him entire 1 crore rupees today. But even the builder needs money to start construction. That is the reason. Obviously, he insists on this figure. Correct? To start. And the builder gives a schedule. He gives what? A schedule. Now try to understand a schedule. And the schedules are let us say there is plinth. Plinth means the basic at the very ground floor, the foundation of the building. Then you'll say after 3rd floor, then 5th floor, 7th floor, 9th floor, and on completion, last 5% is something like that. Okay. So he says, see, he's already taken 20% from you. Then once the foundation is done, he said next 20%, then next 20%, next 20%, something like this. And lastly, let us say 5%, 10%, etc. Some coloring is remaining, fitting of the windows is remaining, etc. Are you getting my point? So when you pay 100%, after that, obviously, you're getting the possession. Okay, understood, everybody? Fine. Now look from the finance point of view. Okay, finance. Who paid the down payment? Buyer or bank? Generally, it is paid by the buyer because bank doesn't sponsor 100% of the amount. Bank doesn't sponsor 100% of the amount. They usually sponsor 85%, depending from case to case basis. Generally, I'm right now for the example, I'm taking 80%. Is it okay, everybody? Fine. So buyer at the time of booking and later on after, let us say within the month, he is entering into agreement. Okay. Isn't it? Agreement. That time, what happens is there has to be what a kind of agreement to sell. That yes, we will complete the property and then we will transfer it to you. We will give you the possession after 3 years. So when you're entering into the agreement, the bank gives a guarantee. The bank gives a what, guarantee that yes, remaining 80 lakhs rupees, we are making you the payment. We are making you. That means who is making who the payment? The bank will make payment to the builder. Are you getting my point, all of you? Fine. So now pay attention. 20 lakhs was already paid. 20 lakhs was already paid. So now remaining is how much? 80 lakhs. Clear here? Now when the plinth is done, the foundation is done, the builder will send a demand to the buyer. That sir, our plinth or foundation is done. Please send us the next 20%. Buyer will what, intimate the bank, and the bank doesn't give to buyer. The bank will release it to the builder. Next 20%. Are getting my point, all of you? In fact, if you're understanding, it is a kind of a network or a group of builder and bank. Why? Because both of them are taking money from the buyer, isn't it? It is income obviously of the builder as well as income of the bank, isn't it, everybody? Correct. In these three parties involved, two are making money, and a builder and the bank. Clear? So now third floor, fifth floor, completion, etc. Every time the stage is completed, builder will send a demand notice. It is just a notice, basically a reminder that please release the next payment. Buyer does the bank, and bank releases the funds to the builder's account directly. Understood, all of you? Clear till here? Let us say the position came in our current year. Let us say 22, 23. Yes, everybody. Here, but in this year we have entered into agreement. Okay, till here. And here this year we get our possession. Fine or no? This much you have understood till now, all of you? Fine. When does bacho house property come into picture? Picture means the discussion. From which year house property, income from house property will be applicable? Very good, all of you. Yes. 22, 23. Before 22, 23, there is just under construction property. We will not call it a house property. For a house property, but it has to be properly legally authorized property. Okay. Understood, Khushbu? Clear? We'll go ahead, everybody. But now tell me, did you, Acha, bank released, now pay attention. Another story over there. Bank is releasing payment now. Understand? Use common sense. The builder gets entire money before possession. Common sense. Who is going to give possession and then again some kind of amount is remaining? No. Builder gets all the money before possession. Clear till here? Builder in fact is getting money from bank. Bank is releasing the payment to the builder. Okay till here? Acha. Now understand. The first the first release of payment by bank to builder is happening from 1819 itself. After every 6 months, etc. This floor done, that floor done, etc. Yes or no? Right, everybody? So bank is releasing the funds to the builder after every, let us say, after every 6 months. What about the loan repayment to bank? What about the loan repayment to bank? When will it start? Will there be interest applicable or not applicable for the 3 years? Which 3 years I'm talking about? From 1819 to 2223. Or what do you think? After 2223, only the interest will start. That means for 3 years, the buyer is using interest-free money. What do you think? Which is more logical? Interest will be applicable, but even on immediately on the next day. Correct, Nitin. It is applicable from the first disbursement itself. Very good. Very good. The day bank releases its funds to the builder, from that day, bank charges interest. Obviously, the only difference is bank is also releasing in installments. Kushbu, understand now, okay? Bank is also releasing the funds in installments. Is it transferring entire 1 crore rupees on one day? No. So bank is sending, let us say 10 lakhs. So obviously on 10 lakhs, interest will be applicable. Now next, let us say 20 lakhs they sent. Now next, let us say 15 lakhs they sent. So even loan amount will get, slowly it will get increased. Understood, Leo? So basically the buyer will have to pay interest on first 10 lakhs, then next 20 lakhs, 15 lakhs, etc. Why? Because bank is also releasing step by step. No? Are you getting my point? You have done time value of money. Yes, so everybody. So even for one day, obviously interest will be applicable. Kushbu, Indrajit, Mansi, understood? Correctly, Leo? So what I'm trying to tell you, the buyer bacho starts paying interest to the bank. Immediately from the first disbursement, the bank gives money to the builder. Initially, now again use common sense. Initially or in the beginning, the interest amount or the loan, not loan amount, but outstanding amount obviously going to be less, because bank is also releasing less funds to the builder. Understanding or no? Tell me quickly. And a banker just released 10 lakhs, then 15 lakhs, then 25 lakhs maybe, depending on the level of construction. Yes, everybody, as per the slabs. Slabs means literally floors. How many floors have been constructed? Clear, all of you? Done till here, everybody? Okay, understood. So what I'm trying to tell you, income from house property chapter will be applicable from 22-23 only. But I am paying interest even before my house property is completed. Understood or no? This was the point I wanted to keep put in your mind. That interest will be applicable, or you are paying interest. Now you can say use the word pay, or let me use the word accrued. Okay, interest is getting accrued from 1819 itself, even if when I don't have the house property. Agreed or no? So now understand for 1819, 1920, 2021, whatever it is. Understand or no? Please keep your minds open. For 1819, 1920, 2021, I am going to file my income tax return. Clear till here? Right? I am going to file my income tax return. My interest on borrowed capital is getting accrued. Correct? So immediately, Bachu, what comes to your mind? 24B, 24B, 24B. Interest on borrowed capital. Yes or no? Accrued. Array. But there is no house property itself. 1819, 1920, 2021. Are you getting my point or no, Bachu? If the head of income itself is not applicable, remember now, charging section, importance now. Do you understand importance of charging section? Annual value of a building. Are there is no building for first 3 years. It is under construction. Are understood? So when there is no building itself, there is no house property itself, the chapter itself is not applicable. How can I take deduction? Understood? So when will I my house property is considered? Let us say 22, 23. Yes, tell you. Let us say from 20 to 23, I have my house property. From here, my chapter is applicable. From here, interest definitely is whatever is getting accrued, I will claim. So does that mean for these 3 years, etc., whatever interest was accrued, will it go to waste? The answer is no. It will not go to waste. We will be able to use it, but only when my house property is ready. Okay, till here, everybody? Did you understand a little bit? Yes? Now, this period, okay, is called as, let us say, pre-construction interest, okay? This period is pre-construction period. This period is pre-construction period, and the interest for pre-construction period is called as pre-construction interest. And this I will be able to claim 22, 23 onwards. That is a very simple or a normal logic which I am putting in your head now. Okay, till here? So I hope little bit you understand what is pre-construction period. It is just a period before house property comes into existence. Whatever interest was accrued for the pre-construction period, this will be called as pre-construction interest. And the entire interest now of these 3 years in our example, we will start getting it obviously after the house property is ready. Clear, all of you? Yes, we'll go ahead, everybody. Okay. Fine. Come back to our textbooks. And this point also we had covered. Interest on unpaid interest is not allowed. What was this interest on unpaid interest? You missed an EMI, you missed whatever payment to the bank. The bank has charged you some interest or penalty or etc. The extra interest or penalty is not allowed as deduction, or it is not. We cannot reduce it under 24B. Clear, Elio, all of you? Have you finished question number 4? Tell me question number 4. 4 we have not covered. Let us quickly finish it off. Ready, all of you? Question number 4. Ready? Sure. Question number 4. Mr. Z has a residential house which is given on rent. The returns of which are as under. Gross annual value 1 crore. He has given it on rent. Wow, nice. Okay. Municipal taxes 10 lakhs paid during the year. Now, if you make mistake now over here, I will remove you from the meeting itself. Municipal taxes, 10 lakhs paid during the year, out of which 4 lakh relates to earlier years. Full stop. In addition, tenant also paid rupees 2 lakhs as tax. Which tax? Property tax, municipal taxes. Okay. That is in addition. Then, interest on borrowed capital. Interest, which component? Not principal. They're talking of interest. On the first loan or original loan, he's paying interest of 4 lakhs. Or loan taken to repay original loan, 6 lakhs. And interest on unpaid interest, 80,000. Calculate net taxable income if his business income is 4 lakhs and he has paid contribution to public provident fund or rupees 1 lakh. Basically, business income is another head of income. In another head, that income we will add. We'll add both of them. So we'll get our gross total income. And from gross total income, bacho, this is allowed as a deduction. Under section 80C, that is chapter 6A. That we will write down. No problem. But what is asked? Net taxable income. Do not forget. Ready, everybody? So, calculation now. For AY 23-24. How many heads of income do you see in the question? Heads of income. In the question I said, not in the syllabus. How many heads of income do you see, bacho, in the question? Huh? Two, correct. One is income from house property, another is business income or income from business. Okay, good. Let's start. First one. First one, income from house property. Income from house property. First one is bacho, under income from house property. Do you remember our regular format? GAV, less municipal taxes paid by owner during the year. We are at NAV. Then 24A is what? 30% of NAV. 24B is what? Interest on borrowed capital. Okay, so first one. They have ready-made given to you gross annual value. No, it is not even that you have to calculate gross annual value. MV, FR, SR, expected and actual rent, nothing. Everything is given. So running GAV, 1 crore bacho. Less what? Municipal taxes paid by owner during the year. How much will allow? 10 lakh, 4 lakh, 6 lakh, 12 lakh. How much will allow? Paid by the owner is what? 10 lakhs, of which 4 lakhs is of earlier years, basically outstanding. So current year is only 6 lakhs. And in addition, however, the tenant has paid 2 lakh rupees also as tax. How much will it take? Give me answer. 10, 6, 4, 12. Okay, Khushbu. Correct. Whatever is paid during the year, just close your eyes and write it down. Obviously, but it has to be paid by the owner. So whatever is paid by the tenant, that we will not allow. Clear? Good. So municipal taxes paid by owner during the year is how much? 10 lakhs we are allowing. I'm writing here in bracket itself. Paid by tenant is not allowed. Okay. What do we arrive at? It is less, so I'm keeping it in bracket. Okay, everybody? 1 crore and 10 lakhs gone, correct? 90 lakhs remaining is our NAV, correct? That is my net annual value. Over there, I don't write down what deduction under section 24. Right? Deduction under section 24. Under that 24A, standard deduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. 27, correct? Less, not less, sorry, B. Interest on borrowed capital. Tell me, original loan allowed or not allowed? Allowed. How much? 4 lakhs, correct? Second, loan taken to repay another loan. 6 lakhs allowed or not allowed? Allowed. Good. That is 6 lakhs. And third, interest on unpaid interest. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Good. What do we arrive at? Income from house property. Take that in outer column. 53 lakhs, correct? What do you have second, bachcho? Income from business, है ना? Business income. Income from business. How much is that? 4 lakhs. Addition of both is what, bachcho? Gross total in 57. Yes. Less what? Chapter 6A deduction. Under that first one, section 80C, PPF contribution. How much has he paid? 1 lakh. So we allow that as deduction. And that is bachcho our final figure. Net total income or net taxable income. Clear? Sir, can I call you back around 9:30, 10? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yes, everybody. That is a net total income. Any problem, Delia? All okay? All right. Okay, one more. Ready, everybody? Question number 5. Let's start. Question number 5. Pay attention now, all of you. So, Aniruddha has a property whose municipal valuation is 1,30,000 per annum. The fair rent is 1,10,000 per annum, and the standard rent fixed is 1,20,000 per annum. So all three figures are given to us. We can find the expected rent of the GAV process, correct? For GAV. The property was let out. Let out means given on rent for a rent of rupees 11,000 per month throughout the previous year. Throughout the previous year, you understand? That means what? Obviously, entire year. Clear? Unrealized rent was rupees 11,000. That means what? But how many months gone? 1 month you have not received the rent. Simple. And all conditions of Rule 4 are satisfied. Okay, Delio? He paid municipal taxes at the rate of 10%. Now understand, whenever you are given municipal taxes as a percentage, whenever you are given municipal taxes but as a percentage, it is percentage of municipal valuation. It is percentage of what? Municipal valuation. That is the reason your corporation or municipality is doing the valuation. Clear, dealer? Or that's why we have this valuation to actually fix your municipal taxes. Understood, dealer? Let's go ahead. Interest on borrowed capital was 40,000 for the year. So 24B figure is ready-made available. Compute net taxable income of Aniruddha for the AY 23-24. If his income from salary is 5 lakhs and he has paid contribution to Sukanya Samriddhi scheme in the name of his daughter of rupees 1 lakh, same thing, it means it is also allowed under section 80C deduction, and 5 lakhs is a salary income. Again, how many heads of income we have? 2. Income from salaries and income from house property. Total of both of these is gross total income. From that, you can reduce this Sukanya Samriddhi scheme deduction under section 80C. Clear, Delia? So only thing is different over here. It is about Rule 4. Rule 4 means what, bacho? Unrealized rent. Okay. We'll go ahead, everybody. Tell me, was it let out or no throughout the year? Yes, it was let out. So for calculation purpose, we'll take 12 months, and from the 12 months, we'll reduce 1 month, which we have not reduced, which we have not received. Okay. Fine, Delia. Write down in the notebook. Come on. What do you want? Taxable income. So computation of. Computation of taxable income of Aniruddha for AY what, bacho? 23, 24. Yes, tell all of you. Particulars rupees. See, total we have 5 heads of income. Total in the syllabus or act. In the question we have 2. 2 right now heads of income. So normally speaking, again I'm repeating, it is good practice to show them in sequence. First we'll show salaries, because if you remember the 5 heads of income, but first will salary, then house property, then business, then capital gain, and then other sources. Okay. So first one, income from salaries. Have they given you ready-made figure? Yes, obviously 5 lakhs. So I'll directly put 5 lakhs bacho in the outer column. Is it okay, all of you? And second, now we have income from house property. Ready? Okay. Under that, again, you remember, bacho, what you have to do? GAV, NAV, everything you have to calculate. Isn't it, everybody? So first step is what, bacho? Are you done till here? Or do you want me to wait? Done. Okay. So I am writing now GAV calculation. Correct. Remember na jo GAV calculation. What do we want? Step 1. Expected rent. What is expected rent? Higher of municipal valuation or fair rent. However, this figure should not be more than standard rent. Correct. So I'll written both of it. Higher of what figures I have? Municipal valuation 1,30,000. Oblique fair rent 1,20,000. Higher is 1,30,000. Correct, Elia? And now lower of 130. But standard rent is how much? 120. Sorry, something I missed. This is 1,10,000. No? Fair rent. Standard rent is 1,20,000. Therefore, what? Expected rent is 1,20,000. Isn't it? Step 2 is what? Actual rent. Isn't it? I'm writing purposely in bracket annual. Why, bacho? Because it was let out for the entire year. Okay. So pay attention. It was let out at the what rate? 11,000 per month. No. Into 12 months. Because the wording we use is what? Received or receivable. So even actually it was receivable for 12 months. Okay. Yes. 132. 12 into 11. However, very important, or basically what is this difference over here? A little bit unique is what? Less. From here we can reduce our unrealized rent. Doesn't it? $11,000 we have not received. So 22 and 21. 121, correct? So therefore, what is my GAV? Is higher of 1 or 2. That is higher of 120 or 121. Done, Delia? What do we reduce? Less municipal taxes. Paid by owner during the year. Correct, all of you? How much has he paid? 10% of municipal valuation. We'll have to show in our calculation, okay? 10% of what? Not GAV, 10% of municipal valuation. Municipal valuation is 1,30,000. Okay. So simple 13,000. Clear? What do we arrive at? NAV. Just tell you all of you. So 120 minus 13 is how much? 108, is it? That is your NAV. What do we reduce now? Deduction under section 24. 24A is what? Standard deduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. Okay, so 10 lakh 8,000 into 1 lakh 8,000 into 30. How much? Is this right? 32,400. Okay. Don't just copy paste. Check on calculator. At times purposely I'll write wrong numbers. You have to check, cross verify. And B, you have interest on borrowed capital. Good. Was 40,000. 40. Clear? We get our what? Income from house property. This 40,000 is ready-made figure given to us. No calcul, no kind of any complications are there. Right? Fine, we'll go ahead. Income from house property. Give me this figure. Only house property. Correct. 35,600. Barabar? Correct, all of you? Salaries you have already taken. So income bachcho of all the addition of all the heads of income is what? Gross total income. Salary is 5 lakhs, so it is 535,600. Less what bachcho? Chapter 60 deduction. Under that first one, section 80C. I think it is Sukanya Samruddhi scheme. Okay, Sukanya Samruddhi scheme. How much is that? 1 lakh allowed. Clear, all of you? So I hope now you are understanding how do we finalize the incomes of assessees, isn't it? Net total income. $435,600. Done? Good. Nice. One more. I take lots of sums, okay, in the class. I don't give it for homework. So it is better that you do it in the class itself or lots and lots of practice. Because then I'll take only one concept, one question, and then I'll tell you do it for homework or do it from here and there. Then you will not get that much confidence. You know? Basically make mistakes and learn. Okay. Ready? We'll go ahead, everybody. One more. So sixth one. Come on. X owns a house property in Delhi, which is let out for rupees 30,000 per month. The municipal value of which is 1 lakh. Okay, take it for the year. And municipal taxes were 25% of municipal valuation. So even if they don't give you 25% of what, okay, you have to understand it is as a percentage of municipal valuation. Okay. X paid, the owner, na, during the previous year, municipal tax of total 6 years, which relates to 5 years, past 5 years, as well as current year. Okay, so total he is paid for 6 years, out of which 5 years are for outstanding or earlier years. The other expenses of the property was repairs expenses, insurance premium, interest for purchase of house, only 11,000. I think the loan is almost about to get over, and ground rent, which is due. Compute income of X for AY 23-24. Assuming that he has not earned any other income and he has purchased units of equity linked savings scheme, ELSS, in short, ELSS, during the year of 50,000, even this is allowed as ATC deduction. Again, not a great or a tough question. Should I give you time and you will solve this? Is that okay? Obviously, the format is still the same. Or in the beginning, I'll be with you. I'll then stop and then you can go ahead. Okay, that we can do. Question number 6, 5.13. NDM. What do you want? Taxable income? Yes, income. So computation of income of X. for AY 23-24. Yes, particulars rupees. We have only one income from house property, isn't it? Try this in rough. Try this in rough, bachcho. Come on. I'll give you time. And give me direct final figure of net taxable income. Okay. Solve the entire question, Indrajit. Okay. This is NTI, no? Net taxable income. Okay. Okay, another answer I got. I want in rough only. You don't have to write down in the notebook because that will be doing together. Okay. And one more last answer. And one more person. Answers remaining. Okay. Okay, ठीक है, fine. Good. I got so many different answers. Nice. Okay. So for this question for NT and net taxable income, I got different answers. Okay. Almost no issues. We'll go ahead. Now, some concepts, obviously, you may be aware. Some concepts you may not be aware. So at times it happens, you may have taken some assumption. Okay. So that is also possible. No issues. We'll go ahead. Chalo. Obviously, do we have GAV? No. GAV we have to calculate, isn't it? GAV calculation. He has given the rent or property on rent of 30,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees per month. Hai? But as it is for GAV, we have to first of all show our expected rent. Clear till here? Higher of MV or FR subject to SR. MV 1 lakh. Do we have fair rent given to us? NA not applicable. So 1 lakh but subject to what? Standard rent is how much? Do we have? Again not applicable. Not given, no, basically. So therefore, bachcho, our expected rent is what? 1 lakh. Yes, clear? Second. Actual rent received or receivable? Yes. Is how much, bachcho? Rupees 30,000 per month. I hope at least GAV everybody got correct. Okay, done. GAV was 360. Less. Municipal taxes paid by owner during PY. Correct? How much was this figure, Bachu? The entire municipal taxes. How much have you got? All of you tell me. Only municipal taxes. This figure I want. Okay, Indrajit. Khushbu, Nitin, Mansi. Only municipal taxes. How much you have paid? What was the figure? Okay. Khushbu. Okay, good, fine. Pay attention. What is happening? Municipal value is 1 lakh for the year, na? And municipal taxes are 25% of municipal valuation. So 25% is also for the year. And he has paid total for 6 years. Okay. So you write down rupees 1 lakh. What is rupees 1 lakh, bacho? Valuation. Right? Into 25% is for the year. Into 6 years, no? Understood, everybody? 1 lakh 50. Clear? All of you? So NAV is what, bacho? 360 minus 150. 150 and 60. 210. Yes. Less. Deduction under section 24. 24A. Standard deduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. 210 into 3. Okay, everybody? 30%. 63,000 is this? I think so. And B, repairs, insurance premium, interest on purchase of house, ground rent due. Only one figure was allowed over there. Only one figure is allowed. Interest on borrowed capital. Which is 11,000. Fine till here, all of you. Okay. That is your income from house property. How much it is? 136. Are we given any other income in the question? Any other head of income is there? No. Therefore, my GTI is also the same. But do I have chapter 6 deduction? Yes. So I'll just write on GTI. Less what, bacho? Chapter 6 deduction. ELSS contribution. 50,050. The net total income or net taxable income, one and the same thing. Yes, everybody. All right, income from the net taxable income, sorry. Net total income. 136 minus 50, 86. Okay, 11,000 का फर्क आया. Okay. So notes. First one. Okay, pay attention. What are they saying? What about repairs, bacho? You have some of you may have taken it, maybe. No. They were actual expenses and not loan is not taken for that. Right? Insurance premium not allowed. Okay. Nowhere in the section we saw that it was allowed. Ground rent not allowed. See, basically, I have been telling you also indirectly, all these small or other expenditures are covered in 24A itself. 30% is for that only. Isn't it, everybody? So we don't go into the small or other expenses. Then how much will be actually allowed? Clear, all of you? In that we take for 30%. So in 24B, there is no repairs. Correct. See, the point is, under 24B, repairs is allowed. But what is 24B? Tell me this. 24B is interest on borrowed capital. The loan should be taken for repairing. Is it given in the question that loan was taken for repairing? So even repairs expenditure is not allowed. Interest on the loan taken. There are 2-3 things. See, purpose of loan. I'm writing here. Then, okay, purpose of the loan. And then principal. And then interest. Isn't it, everybody? See, purpose of the loan should be what? Repairs. One of the examples, no? Acquisition, construction, repairs, renewal, and reconstruction. Correct, Ilya? Have they given in the question that he has taken a loan to pay for those repairs? He has directly spent on repairs. Okay, everybody. Or he has directly spent on insurance premium. He has directly, whatever, the ground rent is due. Okay. So that is not there. The loan should be taken for the loan should be taken. So loan itself is not taken. Or loan is taken, but for which purpose? They have given you that. This part, purchase. Isn't it, everybody? Give one example of loan repairing. You want to, there is some leakage, water leakage going on, or you want to repair this, you want to do a painting or that waterproofing work. For that, if you take a loan, because let us say that expenditure, let us say that expenditure is of 5 lakh rupees. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. Repairing you want to do to the house, 5 lakhs. So instead of spending 5 lakhs out of your own pocket, okay, you take a loan. Understood? Waterproofing work, coloring work, something like that. You want to build a fence, you understand? Compound. All right. For that expenditure, if you take a loan and interest on that loan is then allowed. Clear till here? If you spend directly, it is not allowed. If you spend directly, it comes under the 30% category, standard deduction. Understood or no? Loan should be taken for repairs, renewal, reconstruction, purchase or construction. Understood? Or reconstruction, etc. That was which notes. Repairs. If it was loan for repairs, then it is allowed. Yes. If it is written interest on, I'll just simply change in the question. Let us say just the wording they have used now. Interest for purchase of house. And same. The same word is if they had used interest for repairs of house. Then obviously interest means what? Loan was taken. So then that we would have been allowed. Okay. It is like buying a mobile in cash or buying mobile through loan, isn't it? And for that mobile buying, you have paid rent, you have paid interest also. Then that was the example that interest will be allowed. So repairs, comma, insurance premium, ground rent, is not allowed or are not allowed. Are not allowed as deduction. Yes, Celia? We'll take a break because next question which I have to do is question number 8, which has three properties. Okay. Okay, all of you. Take a break, all of you. आगे सब लोग। खुशबू, मजा आ रहा है इंटर में खुशबू? नितिन, कैसा महसूस हो रहा है आपको? सब लोग आए कि नहीं? कौन कौन आया यहाँ पे? नितिन है। आ गए जनाब। इंद्रजीत मानसी आ रहे हैं ना? हम्म। मानसी आ गए, चलो कैन यू स्टार्ट? खुशबू सब ठीक है ना खुशबू? ज्यादा ज्यादा टेंशन तो नहीं आ रहा तुमको? हाँ गुड। नितिन ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग। मानसी, अब जो टेस्ट सीरीज चल रहा था ना, अभी टेस्ट सीरीज चल रहा है यहाँ पे ना, नवंबर 22 अटेम्प्ट के लिए। कल ही शायद टेस्ट सीरीज का वो रिजल्ट लगा था। टेस्ट सीरीज मतलब 50% सिलेबस। उसमें लॉ का भी हाईएस्ट मेरी स्टूडेंट है, और टैक्स की भी स्टूडेंट, स्टैट टैक्स की भी हाईएस्ट मेरी स्टूडेंट है। लॉ वाली स्टूडेंट फेस टू फेस थी, और टैक्स वाली स्टूडेंट का पेन ड्राइव था। ओके, तो टेस्ट सीरीज के टेस्ट में भी, और आई थिंक 40-50 बच्चों ने टेस्ट दिए थे। मैंने पूछा मैम को अपने यहाँ पे एकेडमी में, तो अराउंड 40 बच्चों ने टेस्ट दिया, उसमें टॉपर अपने ही दोनों। तुमको और टॉप करना है, ठीक है ना, बाद में। कम है तो भी दम है कि नहीं अपने में? ओके चलो आगे बढ़े। ओके, let's go ahead. We can now, I think, deal with question number 8 after doing the breakfast, है ना, and getting some energy. Let's go. Question number 8. Yaks owns 3 houses in Delhi, right? I hope we are rich like X sometime. 3 houses that also in Delhi. Particulars of which are as under. House 1, house 2, house 3. Municipal value, fair rent, standard rent given of all 3 of them. Okay. Rent per unit per annum. This is obviously the 4th line which is given to you here. Per unit per annum, that means they're talking about actual rent. Okay, fine till here? Fine. We can have 3 houses, but not so less rent. You know? This can be per month, practically. In the question, it is annually. We'll go ahead. Now check some cases they are talking about municipal taxes, isn't it? Check. 12,000 due but not paid. House 1, you will answer me. What will you do? Take or not take deduction? House 1. Kuzbu. All of you? We will not take because it is not paid. Correct, Mansi? Municipal taxes, it is allowed on cash basis of cash system, है ना? On payment basis, let us say. ठीक है? House 2. 10,000 for the last year paid in this year, and 11,000 of the current year is due but not paid. Tell me the figure you will take for municipal taxes. Very good. 10,000. Very good. Very good, guys. Good. And house 3. 60,000. Totally paid, na? It includes 54,000 paid as advance for the next 9 years. Total 60,000 paid. How much will take? 60,000. Fantastic. What else you require? Nothing else. Compute taxable income assuming he has purchased unit linked insurance plan, ULIP. It is allowed as deduction. 15,000 and he has no other income. Anything else? Great here, nothing else. But only difference here is we have multiple houses now. So obviously we'll be accumulating them. This is not house 4, it is house 3. Okay, we'll go ahead, everybody. Write down. Question number 8. 5.14. Ready, all of you? X own 3 houses in Delhi, no? Okay. Pay attention now. Always focus on what is the main question asked. Compute taxable income is what they are saying. Does he have any other income? No. So I'll write down computation of taxable income of yucks for AY 23-24. Yes, Celia? Particulars rupees. Now this will be a very small table. Pay attention, okay? This will be a very small table, hardly 5 lines, 4-5 lines. First, how much income from house property? Obviously, we don't have the figure. It is in fact combination of 3 properties. So write down in bracket. Working note 1. Simple, yeah, all of you. Working note 1. Do I have any other income? In the question, no. So what a figure will arrive at? That is my GTI, gross total income. Directly, that is income from house property as well as budget is my gross total income. But do I have a section 80C deduction? Yes. ULIP plan I have. Unit link insurance plan. What all is this and that? What is ULIP, sir? What is ALSS? That we will deal when we'll be actually in chapter 6 or some other chapters. That discussion will happen. Don't worry. You'll be learning lots of things practically, I'm telling you. Don't worry. Okay. Gross total income. And from that, but we can reduce chapter 6 deduction. ATC ULIP. How is that? 15,015. This much we are aware, isn't it, everybody? That is my net taxable income or net total income. Right, Lilia? Fine. Now we'll be computing for the property, house property calculation. Okay, income. Yes? Done, Lilia? So working note number 1. What is it? What is it? It is income from house property. Particulars, and now we have 3 houses. Okay, we'll be accumulating them. We'll be taking total of them. Right, we'll go ahead, everybody. 3 houses. Okay. Again, if I look at the question overall, there is nothing great in the question except municipal taxes figure. Okay. Nitin, Kushbu, correct? Okay. Okay, let's go ahead, everybody. Now we are doing income from house properties. First, what do we require? GAV. It is what bachcho, higher of MV or FR, but subject to SR. Higher of municipal valuation or fair rent, but subject to standard rent. Ready, everybody? So directly go house wise. Okay, please don't mix all the houses. So higher of 1,20,000. In the question, not necessarily they will give you in same sequence, MV, FR, SR. They may first give you SR in the sequence, then MV or then FR. So always be careful which figure you are selecting. Okay, 120, higher of MV or FR. FR is 150. Higher is 150. Lower of 150 or SR is 130. Give me the figure, bachcho. $130, 1.3. Correct? Very good. Yeah. Good. Give me for house 2 now. House 2. Higher of 72 or 75. Higher is 75. So lower of 75 or 80. Which one? 80 is my expected. Lower 75. 75 is my expected rent. Yes, Celia? And third one, higher of 60 and 75. So higher is 75, but lower of 75 or 72. Very good, Kushbu. So answer is 72 over here. Yes, keep on answering, no problem. You guys can keep on answering before I ask you. That is actually, it helps in your confidence building. Okay. Done till here. That is my expected rent. My step 2 is what, bacho? So I'm writing a point number 1 and point number 2. Actual rent. Actual rent is what? 70, 84 and 121. It is already given to you. 70, 84 and 121. Therefore, GAV is what? Higher of 1/2. Is higher of 1/2. Yes, till here, all of you. So 130, 84 and 121. Yes, clear, everybody? That is my GAV. The only interesting part was municipal taxes. Okay, ready, everybody? 70, 84, 121. So less municipal taxes paid by owner during PY. Okay. Due but not paid. Dash. Okay. Just tell everybody. House number 2, 10,000 for last year, paid in this year, and current is 11,000 is not paid. So 10,000. It is less, so please put it in bracket. And third, 60,000 totally paid. 54,000 is advance of next 9 years, and remaining 6,000 was of current year. Total we will take but to 60,000. I hope this is now clear. Okay. Understood here? What do you arrive at? NAV, isn't it? We arrive at NAV. $74. And this is what? 61,000, right, everybody? We'll go ahead. Then what do we write after that? Less. Deduction under section 24. A is what, bacho? Standard deduction at the rate of 30% of NAV. 33 is what? 39? So 39,000. 74 into what? 30%. Don't copy paste, please. Okay, do it on your calculator. You have to keep that practice. And last one, 61,000 into 30. 18,300, is it? Correct? Are we given anything about interest on borrowed capital? Nothing. So I'm not writing also now that it is not part of it. Correct? I get my bachcho income from house property. Obviously, I'm getting it house wise. $130 minus 39 was what? How much? Well, 91. 74 minus 22, 200. 51, 800. And 61 minus 18, 300. 42, 700. Yes, still here. We'll go ahead, everybody. So therefore, my final total income from house property. I take addition or total of all of them. Okay, is 91,000 plus 51,800 plus 42,700. How much is this? All of you give me. Yes, 185, 500. Correct, Mansi. Good. Okay, 185, 500. Just give a star mark over here for this is the only unique thing. Look at the adjustment. That's it. Because whenever you have to revise, that is what you have to keep in mind. What was important in this question? Which adjustment was important? You can't again solve for GAV, NAV. There was nothing great over there. Understood, Leo? So give a star mark to the adjustment, nothing else. We'll go ahead. So my total is what? 185, 500. This I'll put in my main answer. Correct? 185, 500 directly outer column. I have no other income. That's why this is also my GTI. And reduce 15,000. 170 then. This is my net total income, net taxable income. Can be done? Good. All right. Question number 7. See, I'll discuss with you. I'll start with the format, but I want you to complete at least. Obviously, you have to give me the working note or the rough answer. Okay. Just write for someone, write down in the notebook. Question number 7. Ready, all of you? Following in the particulars of house properties of Mr. Rajesh. Ready, everybody? House A, house B. 2 houses he has. Annual rent value, municipal valuation. Annual rent value means they are talking about your this actual rent. Okay, everybody? Your municipal valuation, municipal taxes paid during the year, actual. You should have actually added 110 everywhere. Okay, we'll keep it as it is right now. Whatever small figures. Municipal taxes paid during the year, actual repairs expenses, interest on money borrowed. Capital borrowed money is capital borrowed is money borrowed to decorate the building. Interest on money borrowed to pay municipal taxes. Wow, wow, wow. Insurance premium and rent collection charges. This is all are his expenditures. House A was let out for residential purposes. However, house B was let out for commercial purpose. That is, it means what? It is to be used as office by the tenant. Any problem till you're in understanding? The tenant is going to use it as an office, but it is house. Possible. I have given you already the example. Lawyers, doctors, architects, CAs, CS, small offices, anybody can open, even in a residential complex. Understood? We'll go ahead. Okay. Insurance premium of house A and ground rent of house B are still outstanding, but you tell me, does it make any impact on your answer? Insurance premium and ground rent, does it make any impact on your answer? Nothing at all. So whenever you will read in the question paper, just immediately over there, you'll see cross mark. It has no use to you. Correct, Ilya? Ground rent collection charges, tell me, not at all useful to you. Nothing to do with your answer. Same thing, insurance premium. Understood, Ilya? Fine. Interest on money borrowed, that we will see in some time. Okay. But they have given you the purpose also, that why he has borrowed money. Okay. Fine. So this line is actually of no use to us. They just to unnecessarily increase the length of the question and to confuse you. Repairs expense of house A and municipal tax of house B were paid by tenant. This can be relevant. Repairs expense of house A is paid by Rajesh only, owner. Correct, no? Check. Achha, no. Repairs expense of house A and municipal tax of house B were paid by tenants, not by Rajesh. It is paid by tenant. What? Repairs expenses. As it is actual repairs expenses, we are not allowing. Paid by tenant again has no significance. However, important now. What do you understand? Municipal tax bachcho of house B is paid by tenant. Where should I make the adjustment? What about this 1200? What will you do of this? Take it or leave it? Unmute, you can unmute. Municipal taxes for house B is paid by tenant. We will not take it, not allowed. Simple, yeah? Good. These are just adjustment. It is like accounts only here, but simple. You just have particulars rupees and you just have to decide which figure to take, which figure not to take. Nothing again, not like costing or something or adjustments. Okay. So tax is not that tough. Only you have to keep the provision in mind. That's it. Isn't it? His business income, that is your PGBP. Okay. PGBP. Profits and gains from business or profession. That is your another head of income. That income is 5 lakhs. And he has also invested in that 5 years tax saving fixed deposit, 1 lakh. Basically, again, for your simplification, it is 80C deduction you will get. Clear what is asked? Net taxable income. I will obviously make the format for you. And then you will be giving me income from house property. Okay. So let's write down. That is my work. Na? What do bacho great people say? If you catch a fish and you give it to that hungry person, he will always be hungry every day. Isn't it? But if you teach him to catch fish, then bacho is going to have a party daily. Isn't it, everybody? Those who don't eat fish, you can think of something else. Okay. Let's go ahead. Computation now. So basically, don't expect all ready-made answers from me. I'll be doing half. You'll be doing half. Computation of net taxable income. Of who, bacho? Mr. Rajesh. For AY 23-24 particulars and only rupees. Again, the main answer bacho format will be very small because there are now only 2 heads of income: house property and business. Correct? House property and business. Ready? Again, as per sequence wise, but your first one will be income from house property. And that is the main question for this. Income from house property. So that I'm going to put in the bracket as working note number 1. Yes. Working note number 1. Ready? That figure I do not have, no. But second, income from business I have. That is what, 5 lakhs? Yeah, 5 lakhs. Income from business बच्चों 5 lakhs. Take in outer column 5 lakhs. Total of all my incomes is what बच्चों? GTI, gross total income. Correct. From that I can reduce my chapter 6A deduction. Under that first one, section 80C is your 5-year bank deposit. Not just deposit, but FD, fixed deposit. That figure is around 1 lakh. So in a way, bachcho, you're getting introduced or you're getting ideas what all is covered under 80C. This might be a 4th or 5th example where we are reducing from chapter 6. And then that is how much you get your net taxable income. Yes, Celia? Or basically also net total income. Working notes. All right. Working notes. Income from house property. Particulars. House A, it is not house 1. So I'm just starting house, whatever. A and house B. Rupees. All right. I want you to calculate in rough and give me income from house property, final figure. Please do it in rough. Okay. Okay, Mansi. I'm writing your answer. And I'll wait for others' answers. कुछ आ रहा है आंसर खुशबू मानसी और खुशबू एंड नितिन ओके, अच्छा हाउस ए का आया तुम्हारे पास, ओके नो प्रॉब्लम, या टेक योर टाइम, कुछ नो प्रॉब्लम. ओके तो टोटल कितना आया वो, टोटल how much then, add them up ना, I want one single figure. Add them up, give me one single figure, both of you. Okay, और ये तुम्हारा कितना है, 7.5, 22, 2310 ऐसा कुछ. Twenty-three, 310. Okay, 23, 310. Fine. No problem. These are your answers. Different answers. No problem. Let's go ahead, everybody. Okay. Income from house property. All right. Annual rent value is given to you already. Then they have what? Municipal valuation. Okay, no problem. Higher of MV or FR subject to SR. They have given you only what municipal valuation. Okay, so step one answer is this expected rent, everybody. 28,910. 28,910. Whatever it is. Fine, no problem. We'll go ahead. Okay, everybody. So GAV calculation. Write down now. First one is on expected rent. Higher of MV or FR, but subject to SR. Yes, dear all of you. But I have only one single figure, but to 25,000. And here I have 12,000. Step 2, actual rent. That figure is already given to us. Actual rent, annual rent value is what, 30 or 12. Okay, that is common, so same here. Therefore, I'm writing GAV is higher, is basically 30 and 12. Yes, still here. All right. Less what, bacho? Municipal taxes. Okay. Municipal taxes paid by owner during the year. During PY. We are not allowed this 1,200 of house B, so I'll not take that. But house A, we are allowed 2,500. They have not given us any adjustment, so it is obviously normally assumed that Mr. A, the owner, only has paid, isn't it? It is less, so in bracket. We arrive at NAV 27,500 and 12,000. Correct? Less deduction 24A. Standard deduction at the rate of 30%. 30% is how much? 8250, is it? I hope till here you could make it. And 3,600. Is it given to interest on borrowed capital? You are given two cases: interest on borrowed capital to decorate the building, and interest on borrowed capital to pay municipal taxes, and both of which are not allowed. Check here. These different answers I got. I hope till here all of you were okay. Correct? House B municipal taxes is not paid, no? So house A we are reducing. And then I'm taking out 30% of 24A. What about 24B, bacho? That's why you have to again go back and check. The purpose of loan are only 5. Acquisition, constructions, repairs, renewal, reconstruction, decoration of building is none of these. Decoration, lighting, etc. is none of these. And also loan taken to pay municipal taxes is also none of these. None of these means it is not an eligible purpose. So we will not get 24B in this example. Understood or no? These are not your, you can say, eligible purposes. Could you understood? Whichever is higher. Okay. Yeah. Fine, no problem. Make mistakes, but don't repeat them. Income from house property. So this comes to what, 19,250 something? And it's 8,400. $27,650. Put that in the main answer. 27,650. Add 5 lakhs to that. So 5 lakh to 27. 650 minus 1 lakh. So 427. 650. Can I tell you all of you? We'll go ahead, everybody. Write notes. Write down. Done tell you? So that note what we have to write is, bacho, important, that interest on borrowed capital. Write down, everybody. Interest on borrowed capital is allowed as deduction only for, check what all purposes: acquisition, purchase, no, that means. Then what? Construction, repairs, renewal, and reconstruction. Isn't it? Next line. Since Mr. Rajesh has taken loan to decorate building. Since Mr. Rajesh has taken loan to decorate building and paying what municipal taxes, no? Comma. Therefore, interest deduction will not be allowed. You think income tax department will allow but decoration building loan, municipal taxes loan? You'll take any motor vehicle loan also then tomorrow. Yeah? So that is the reason they have given you those purposes, no? That only if the loan satisfies these 5 cases, we will allow the deduction. Isn't it, everybody? Municipal taxes, how much you have not taken? 1200. This one, house B. I have given a cross mark over there initially only. Why? What was the case, Bacho? Because it was paid by the tenant. It is given in the case, in the question. Municipal tax of house B was paid by tenant. And what does the law say? Municipal taxes paid by the owner only is allowed. If tenant pays it, why the owner will get the reduction? So it has to be expenditure of the owner. Okay. Point number 2. Do we have other various expenses? Yes, we have rent collection charges, insurance premium. We have these things, right? So we'll write down again, note about that also. Write down actual repairs. Actual repairs expenses. Actual repairs expenses, comma. Insurance premium, comma. Rent collection charges, comma. Ground rent due. Are not allowed as the deduction. So deductions are limited to what? Municipal taxes paid by owner during the year. 24A is a percentage and 24B. Apart from that, just forget it. We are allowing nothing as deduction. Isn't it, all of you? And third point. House B Bachcho was given for commercial purpose. You know? So if office or some business is going on over there, but you are earning rent. So let the purpose be anything. We still that take the income Bachcho from house property. I hope that is clear. Right? All of you will go ahead, everybody. So, next line. Even if house property is let out for commercial use, comma, the rent is charged under income from house property. So basically purpose is not important, is that point we had already covered, if you remember, right? Purpose is not that important. Agreed or no? Okay, all of you? Okay, we'll go ahead everybody. Come on. Done till here, tell me. Khushbu? Understanding, huh, Khushbu? Okay. Nitin, all okay? Mansi, all okay? All right. So the discussion I have already done about pre-concession period and the interest for pre-concession period. Okay, everybody? Discussion I've already covered. Pre-concession period discussion we have already done. And we arrived at some kind of conclusion, or basically understanding that interest belonging to pre-concession period will be allowed, but later on, obviously when the house property comes into existence. Clear till here? Now let me use common sense. In the same example, if you remember, my loan or the agreement with the builder, as well as let us say agreement with the bank, was in 1819. Achha, tell me, bachcho, for how long does a home loan go on? Whatever is your general knowledge, it is a very general question. For how long a home loan can go on or does go on practically, or whatever you know. Basically, in how long the people repay the loan, house loan. Okay. House loan बच्चों now depends again from case to case. Generally, जब तक पे नहीं करते, obviously खुशबू, the loan will go on until you don't pay. Obviously, that was not my question. My question is for how many years generally it goes on. Now you'll see 100 years not paid, so 100 years will go on. There is sell of the property also. Generally, you take a motor vehicle loan, two-wheeler loan, personal loan, and how many years or whatever, what time do you repay it? So generally, bachcho, house property. Generally, again, it is a general law. 5 years. You repay in 5 years. Why will you take loan only then? Honestly. Anyways, because 3 years are going in construction only. Okay. Anyways, home loan generally goes for, generally, again, it is a general term, 20 years. And some of them which still have issues about repayment of loan, the EMI is not fitting their budget, they take it up to 30 years, 30 also. Okay. Yes, those who are rich or those who are arriving at the retirement, then they may take for 15 years, 10 years also. Generally, what our regular trap is what? 21, 22, 23, get your education done, get a good job, get a car, get a home, and then settle down. Okay, this is a typical timeline. So even if I say a person normally at the age of, let us say, 28 something, he tries to buy a property. So let us round figure it to 30 years of age. Clear? So the 30 years of age, he's trying to buy a property. Understood? So that home loan can be for 20 years. Depends. Or again, if it wishes to fit in his budget, then 30 years. That means in the next 20, 30 years, he's trapped in that mindset of repaying of the loan. I have seen some cases of some of my client who was 45 or 50 years old. And he had purchased a flat of rupees 1.75 crore in 2015-16. I'm talking about when I was also doing side-by-side practice. 1.75 crore. Out of that, 1.25 crore he had taken a loan. Okay. Obviously, his age was 50, so the bank has approved him loan only for 10 years. Understood, Ilya? So it depends from case to case. But again, like I said, majority of the cases, it is 20 years. Understood, Ilya? So why I'm bringing up this point? Because you took a loan in 1819, isn't it? You took a loan in 1819. So minimum, assume it will go on for 10 to 20 years. Basically, the loan will go on means you are repaying the loan. Even after the possession of the house property, this much, are you getting my point? You are repaying the loan after possession also of the house property. Clear? The only difference is that now I will call this as current year rent, current year interest, 22-23, 23-24, 24-25, and now whatever interest is getting accrued every year. And only difference is that before the possession, I'm going to call it as pre-construction interest. Clear? Understood or no? This much till here. Kushbu, did you understand? This loan will go on for 20 years. No. So every year some interest will get accrued for 20 years. Understood? So after possession is one, you can say interest, and before possession we have another interest. Okay? Fine. You go ahead, everybody. I'm coming back to one of the points. Come back to your textbook theory. I'm coming back to one of the points which we have not discussed, but I'm hoping you will understand today itself. Because you are smart guys and girls, correct? Check what is happening here. Interest relating to, we are in which category? Interest on borrowed capital. It is allowed on accrual basis. I hope this, you will not make any mistake over here, correct? So interest relating to the year of completion of construction. They are using the term bacho, construction. I have told you possession. Okay, so legally or technically speaking, it is what? Completion of construction. Property has been constructed. That means house property has come into existence. Yes, still here. Is it like bacho partnership accounts? Every partner will die. Every partner will be admitted on 1st of the month or 15th of the month or last day of the month. Is it like that? Whether the construction will always get on completed on 1st only or what? Practically. Again, I'm saying practically. No. So construction can get bacho ready anytime. June, July, August, September, any month during the financial year. Yes, any month during the financial year. If you remember chapter 1 basics of income tax, I had told you a person will become resident, the senior citizen at any day in the financial year. Understand what am I telling you? A person will become senior citizen on any day in the financial year depending on his birth date. So we used to consider him as senior citizen only, na, but for the entire year. Do you remember that? If his 60th birthday was on 1st March, if the person's assessee's 60th birthday is on 1st March, that means in the financial year, he was senior citizen only for 1 month. 11 months, he was non-senior citizen. But for income tax purpose, what do we do, bacho? We consider him as senior citizen for entire 12 months. Understood or no? Yes, very good. Full year. This logic, if you remember and if you understand, same logic we are using for house property. What? Any day you complete the construction during the year, any day you complete the construction during the year, for the entire year, we will say house property existed. House property is there. We file income tax return for the year and we will say house property is there. It exists. Understood or no? And as soon as I say, bacho, house property exists, that means from that year, okay, our income tax return showing income from house property will start. Basically, that is the year I will show this head of income. Which year? The year in which construction was completed. Khushbu, Nitin, Mansi, understood or not? Tell me all of you. Clear? Now check the wordings. Interest relating to the year. What? Interest relating to the year of completion of construction can be claimed in that year itself, irrespective of the date of completion. Means what? Understand now. We had example. Remember that? If you remember that example, which one, bacho? 18-19, we started with the construction, loan, interest, etc. And I'm paying interest. Remember that? And 21-22 is my bacho year of completion. Year of completion. So my question to you is, if in 21-22, as on 1st March 22, as on 1st March 22, I completed my construction, will I say or not house property is there for entire 21-22? It is not practically there, but for income tax purpose, we'll say house property is there for 21-22. Agreed or no? Khushbu, Nitin, tell me. House property there for 21-22. Okay. So they are seeing that even if property got constructed on 1st March 22, whatever interest is there for the entire year 21-22, you are immediately allowed in that year itself. Okay. That means pre-construction period. I'm repeating now. So this is a little bit different. Pre-construction period will be till bacho 2021 only. Okay. Not till February 2022. Are you getting my point? Because for 21-22, that means the year in which construction got completed, entire year's interest is allowed in that year itself immediately. Okay or not okay? Bouncer? Khushbu, Nitin? Okay. Don't write down, just pay attention. Okay? Don't write down, just pay attention. I'll explain. Pay attention. 2018, 19. 2021, 22. And our current year bachcho what? 22, 23. Agree till here? This too we were definitely bachcho saying pre-construction, isn't it? Fine. I'm just again giving some examples. So it is just a random example. Let us say for this 3 years. Okay, total 3 years. My interest accrued is rupees 100. I cannot claim it in these 3 years because what is the reason? Property is not there. Without property, no head of income, no deduction. Yes, fine. Now in 22, 23, bacho, I can obviously have separate dates. Means what? I'm writing a construction completion date. Okay, you don't write down anything, just pay attention. If my construction got completed as on 1st April 22. Clear till here? And I'm writing about 2022-23 interest. Are you understanding the meaning of this? That means for the entire 22-23, what is the interest accrued? Let us take it as rupees 30. Is it okay, all of you? Fine. So we are saying that our current interest is how much? 30. This entire 30 will be allowed in 22-23 itself. Fine. Now you may see here the construction is completed or it is the house property is there for all entire 12 months, 365 days. And interest is for the entire year also. And we are allowing it entirely. Correct? Is it okay till here? Now understand the example. If, however, my construction gone completed on 1st March 23 now. Understand what I'm trying to tell you. Even if the property is actually physically considered only for 1 month available in a financial year, 11 months it is not there, but interest for the entire year will be understood or assumed as bacho current year interest and not as pre-construction interest. This 30 will not be deemed, assumed, known or categorized as pre-construction. It will not. It will be considered as 30 rupees will be considered as current year interest. And this 100 bacho definitely will be considered as pre-construction. Are you understanding the difference between current year interest and pre-construction interest? Current year means obviously when the house property has been constructed after that, or the year in which construction got completed, the year in which they are saying the year in which. So let it be considered in April actually or March. Still for the entire year, interest will be considered as current year. Now tell me, the property got constructed, let us say over here. Pay attention all of you. 1st March 23. If I go ahead in 2023-24, next financial year. Now, whatever interest I accrue in 23-24, I'll consider as current year interest. Once after the house property is constructed. Any problem till here? Whatever is accrued. 23-24, bacho, entire 12 months property is there. No. Property is there for next 50, 80, 100 years. Yes or no, bacho? So whatever interest will accrue, we will call it as current year interest. Any problem till here? No. So only challenge or the different part is that what about the year in which construction got completed? That means some part of the year it is under construction and some part of the year it is constructed. But for income tax purpose, what did I say? You take it as constructed for the entire year, irrespective of the date of construction completion. It is same logic like your resident citizen. Bacho. Once you understood, Kushbu? Now you will say, sir, okay, how does it matter then? Okay, you said for entire year, we will take it as current year interest. How does it matter? It matters. Because this entire 30 rupees will be allowed. However, this entire 100 rupees will not be allowed. That is the problem. Okay, come to your textbook. But this point, did you understand? Now check over here. Again, I'm repeating, no problem. Again, we'll repeat. Okay, interest relating to or interest about the year of construction completion. Correct? Year, they're using the word year. So interest for the year in which construction was completed, can be fully claimed in that year itself, irrespective of date of completion of construction. You complete the construction in April, May, June, July, August, or till March for the entire year. You will be allowed in that year itself. No problem about it. Clear, Delia? Pakka? Fine. For your homework, you will read this and next page also. Okay. And this diagram. This diagram only, that's it. Okay. So next 1 or 2 page and the diagram you read. The diagram is on 5.10. All right, all of you? Fine, we'll go ahead, everybody. Okay, so I mean, go ahead means that is it for today. Read and come, you will understand only 1 or 2% out of it, but read and come, that is very important. Okay, all of you. Right? So that's it for tax for today then, everybody. Okay. Kitna baje will law open? Law at what? 11:25 will start.